Hey, welcome. Today we're going to dive into a really cool shift in thinking. We're going to talk about moving away from mindfulness as something you have to do, another chore on your to-do list, and stepping into a state where healing and just feeling good become, well, automatic, a background process that just takes care of itself. All right, let's jump right into the heart of this. I want to start with a question that totally flips the script on how most of us think about stress and relaxation. No, really, think about that for a second. We're so used to feeling like we have to fight our tension, right? We have to actively do something to make it go away. But what if? What if that whole process could just happen on its own without you having to manage it at all? And that's where this core idea comes in, the mental seed. It's all about shifting from conscious, forceful effort to, well, just allowing. You're just creating the right conditions so your subconscious mind and your body can do the healing they already know how to do. So you're probably wondering, okay, that sounds great, but how do we actually do it? It might sound a little abstract, I get it, but there are some super practical ways to plant this seed. Let's walk through 5 of them. What's so cool about these is how gentle they all are. See, these aren't forceful commands. They're more like quiet invitations. It could be a simple suggestion you give yourself, or these tiny little micro moments of awareness during your day, or even just trusting your body's own intelligence. The whole point is to gently nudge the system, not to try and control it. Now, this whole effortless approach isn't just some nice idea or wishful thinking. It actually works because of a deep truth about how our bodies are put together, something that modern science is confirming more and more. This is such a simple statement, but it's really profound. We all tend to zero in on the sore spot, that nagging knot in our shoulder. But here's the thing, that spot isn't the real problem. It's just the place where the tension is screaming the loudest. And that's because your entire body is wired together in this incredible web. You've got your fascia, this amazing 3D connective tissue, which means tension in your jaw can literally be pulling on your hips. It's wild. Then there's your nervous system, which holds on to tension as a kind of habit. And of course, muscles work in chains, so one little misalignment way down in your foot can create a huge problem all the way up in your neck. So this totally reframes everything, doesn't it? When you start to see your body as a living, breathing ecosystem, you stop trying to just fix one little part. Instead, you just focus on creating the right conditions, like bringing in some awareness, and then you let the whole system rebalance itself, naturally. Okay, so this brings up a really important question. If the goal is this automatic, effortless process, then what's the point of all our formal practices, like meditation or doing a body scan? Are they useless? Not at all. We just have to think about their purpose a little differently. Think of it like this. You're not doing that body scan just to relieve tension in that one moment. You're doing the body scan to teach your mind and your nervous system the language of release so that later on it can do it all by itself. The whole process really happens in 2 phases. Phase 1 is that conscious training. It's structured, it's deliberate, it takes some effort. You're literally building new neural pathways in your brain. But all that work lays the foundation for phase 2, subconscious integration. This is where the attitude shifts from effort to trust. The action becomes spontaneous, automatic. The system you've trained starts to regulate itself. You've taught it the skill, and now it can just run the program on its own. And get this isn't some new age idea. This 2-phase pattern is absolutely universal. You see it in Buddhism, where you move from structured meditation to effortless mindfulness. You see it in Taoism, going from practicing forms to wu-wei, or effortless action. Heck, neuroscience calls it moving from conscious skill building to automaticity. It's exactly what happens when you learn to drive a car and stop thinking about every little move. This model is everywhere you look. So that brings us to the final and maybe the most exciting part of this whole thing. How do you actually make that shift? How do you go from actively practicing mindfulness to letting mindfulness, practice you? The good news is your own body and mind will start to give you little clues. You might just be working at your desk and suddenly notice your shoulders have dropped on their own. Or maybe your formal meditation starts to feel less like a chore and more like just settling in. Or maybe your body just relaxes itself before you even think to do it. These are all signs that your subconscious is starting to take the wheel. And this is so, so important. Making the shift doesn't mean you just abandon your practice altogether. It just means you start to relax your grip on it. You let go of the tight control. You start trusting the process you've already put in motion. And eventually, that leads you to this beautiful, profound state, which is just perfectly captured in this quote. This is the real goal. A place where well-being isn't something you're striving for anymore, but something that is just effortlessly a part of who you are. The system that you worked so hard to train is now training itself.